Hello and welcome back to the Joyful Soul Creates. Charlotte here, and today I'm sharing a quick, clean and simple cat card with a super easy colouring technique. First off, I'm going to emboss my card base. This is going to be a 1-layer card and I'm creating an embossed frame with this folder. And I really would have liked to position it kind of towards the bottom corner, but it won't run through my machine linked app because the embossing folder is basically the width that my Big Shot will accept. So I had to make sure that the width of the card is completely within that folder area rather than being able to put the frame just over one corner. But it's fine, it worked out as it was anyway. It just wasn't exactly what I would have preferred to do if I had the choice. With the embossing done, I have my stamps positioned. I'm going to stamp down the cat and a sentiment both at the same time, and I'm using Versafine Onyx black ink, and I will double stamp this. Both of these stamps are from the same stamp set from the Greeting Farm. I believe this stamp set is now retired. If it's not, I will link it in the description box below, but you can really use any images you want here. And this was inspired by a conversation with a subscriber recently in the comments on another video where they mentioned that colouring seems like a lot of work. So I wanted to show an example of how you can add colour to your images in a way that's really easy and doesn't take much time at all. I do enjoy alcohol marker colouring, but sometimes you just want something that's quick and easy and gives a different look. So for this, I'm using stamps to add colour to my image. These stamps are from a Catherine Pooler stamp set. Again, I will have it linked in the description box below for you. And I'm starting out with this cluster of little dots, and I'm stamping it into the areas of the cat that I want to be white. And I'm using Barely Beige ink, and it will leave those areas nice and pale whilst still having a bit of added interest to them. So they will look like the white areas of a cat, but they're also not uncoloured, if that makes any sense at all. And I am using pieces of washi tape, and I also use post-it tape and some scrap paper just to cover over the areas that I don't want my stamping to get onto, to make sure that I am, as much as possible, only stamping within the areas of the image that I want to get the colour onto. I then switched to a circle stamp from the same Catherine Pooler stamp set, and this one has stripes on it, and I'm going to use Altenew's paper bag ink. I was initially thinking I wanted to do second generation stamping, but I decided to swap and do it full strength instead, and I'm going to fill in the rest of the areas of the cat with this, including the end of its tail. So this is giving it some nice brown details with that stripe texture to it. If you don't want the texture, you could of course use solid stamps for this. The Catherine Pooler stamp set does have some solid circle stamps which would work nicely to do that, but I wanted the texture from the stamps for the look I was going for, which is why I chose these dotty and stripy ones. As this last area on the cat is quite large, I actually switched to a larger stamp because my little circle with the stripes wasn't quite big enough to fill that area. So I switched to a semicircle that's larger and also has the stripes on it. And I had to do a bit more masking with more odds and ends of tape and paper to ensure that it wouldn't stamp where I didn't want it to, but I did eventually get all the bits I felt necessary masked off, and then I was able to stamp into that area. It doesn't cover the whole patch, but I thought it was good enough, and I think that kind of white space around the edge just enhances the texture of the stamping anyway. I think the washi tape I was using got a little bit oversaturated and there was some ink bleeding through onto my card base, so I brought in my Tombow sand eraser to remove that ink. And then I wanted to add some colour to the inside of the cat's mouth, because this cat has its mouth open in a very happy smile. I used Coral Berry ink for this, which again is an Altenew ink, and I picked out the semicircle that has a kind of dotty pattern, although actually I could have just used the solid semicircle because the dot portion doesn't end up within the mouth area anyway, so you can't really tell that there's any texture there. But I just stamped that into place. And then finally, I thought I would add some kind of grounding by using this dotty stamp and Twilight ink just to add some extra detail beneath the cat. I have actually done a video on this technique before where you use stamps to add colour to your images, and I can link to that in the top right hand corner. It's a slightly older video, but it does show the technique again if you want to see more of it. Today's question for the ongoing giveaway is just let me know if you've tried this technique before or what's the most unusual way you have coloured an image. Otherwise, you could just tell me what your favourite way to colour is. And don't forget to head over to Rafflecopter and let it know that you have commented. We are heading towards the end of the giveaway now, so there's only a few days left, and I hope you all manage to get your entries in time so that you will be in for a chance to win the prize. With the grounding dots stamped on, that finished my card, which as I said is one layer and nice and easy stamping, and I hope you found the technique interesting. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing with your friends, shopping with my affiliate links if you do, and supporting me in whatever ways you choose. It really does mean a lot to me. There are a couple of other videos showing on screen if you'd like to see more from me straight away. Otherwise, I'll thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!